Well, I thought I'd best do a life with Donna, because life with Donna has been quite hectic this week and I'm bloody knackered. But
here's what I found.
I didn't find nothing. Siri, you lying to me. Talks to me often. That's thrown me. Yeah, so I feel like I've been on a bit of a time traveling week. It's been very strange because on Tuesday I had the dream gig. It came so quickly. Suddenly it was like weeks away, and then I was like, oh my god, I haven't packed, I'm going tomorrow. But anyway, it's not such an ordeal these days, you know. I don't have to pack the crimpers and the 100 cans of hairspray and ton of makeup and safe for my jewellery and stuff like that. It was all quite easy this time. But oh my god, it was so good. I had the best time, and it gave me I feel in my head, I feel like I'm 20 years old again. My body does not, and it's very annoying because I want to be living life to the max and I'm bloody knackered. But there, that's the joys of getting a bit older. But the gig, okay, so I picked Shell up and I made my playlist, so I was so excited. So on the way up there, we were having a good old sing-song, talking about, you know, certain songs trigger certain memories, and talking about when we used to go to Plymouth a lot, and things we used to get up to, and just having a real road trip down memory lane. It was brilliant. And got to the hotel, lovely hotel. We stayed at the Radisson Park Inn, which was like half a mile from the castle. So when the time came, we moseyed over to the castle. Decided that we were going to catch a bus, but he said it's literally down the road, because I didn't know what bus we had to catch, and so we walked it. Bloody Google Maps. We'd gone up in the town when we got there to go have a look at the shops and that. Got totally lost on Google Maps trying to walk around. Instinct was telling me to go one way, Google Maps the other, but of course we followed because Google must be right and it was wrong. Anyway, so we get to the gig. We had a couple of drinks before we went, and we're feeling quite good, and it wasn't the best day. It had been drizzling all day, and then when we went to go, it was raining, and we thought, oh well, you know, it's only a little bit. Got to the castle, there was a little pub outside, so we thought we'd grab a quick drink before we go in. It was packed with people that were obviously going to the concert, all sort of our age, all in their rock get up and that, and it was a really good vibe, really good atmosphere, and it was absolutely chucking it down. And then we go to go in the gate, and they inform us that our gate is just up there around the corner. He says it wasn't, it was around the complete other side of the castle, which we had to walk in the pouring rain, at which point now I was getting a bit, ugh, this isn't funny. I kept thinking, oh, it won't make no difference to us, but it wasn't just drizzling, it was pouring it down. And then anyway, we finally get to the gate, get in. As we're walking in, I can hear the mission playing. Now all we knew was that the gates opened at 5 o'clock. We thought, right, probably the first girl, there was a girl playing, she'd probably be on at 6, the mission at 7, the alarm at 8. Colt 9, roughly. We were sort of going off that timeline, and it was, I don't know, it was about 10 to 7. We were walking in, and I was like, that sounds like the mission. I said, Shell, is that actually the mission? She was like, yeah. So suddenly the walking in the rain became a lot easier. We sort of jogged it, and we came in at the back of the stage, so we sort of slipped in the side at the front, and they were brilliant. Sound exactly the same. Yeah, they look older, but it, you know, wouldn't go in there for that. It was it took us right back. Now, when we used to go to see the Mission, it was real goth music, and at the time I used to wear wristband, like a leather wristband with studs on, and I can remember years later looking on YouTube videos at Mission concerts that we might have been at, and looking to see if I could see my hand, because it's the music, you know, this is how you dance to the music. It was arms in the air, and it was very hand dancing type thing, and put the videos on, and I'm like looking for my hand, and there's hundreds of hands with studs on their wrists in the air, so never did see me. But yeah, so immediately it's just instinct when certain songs come on that all the hands went up in the air, and you just get lost in the music. And yeah, so that was a great start. We then found the Portaloos, and got ready for the alarm. And I thought, with the alarm being Welsh, that there might be a lot of people there for them, and there might have been, and they were good, but they did a lot of songs that I didn't know, whether they were new songs or songs that I hadn't known. But, you know, I had all their big albums when they were at the time, so I thought they would have done more of that stuff. They did the sort of 68 Guns and Rain in the Summertime, which was just brilliant. It was pouring, probably the heaviest rain I've ever been in, and we were singing at the top of our voices, and it was all very apt, and yeah, great atmosphere, but a little bit disappointed in them. I mean, we were saying though that they were never the ones that we were really really into, so they were sort of the filler band for us, I suppose. But I don't feel like they even got the crowd going like the others did. I don't know, it was just something. He had a lot of trouble with his mics, so that might not have helped. But yeah, that was brilliant. And then, so then we go and we decided that we'd have one drink, because it was £10 for a double vodka. And you know, I'm back in 90s, early 90s mode, late 80s. I want to be paying those prices, so not £10 for a bloody double vodka. So we decided we'd have one in there before the cold, which we did. And the rain had stopped, but at this point we were literally dripping, and it was cold, and my feet were aching, and I really wanted to sit down, and there was obviously nowhere to sit. I would have sat on the floor if I hadn't just looked such an idiot, but because it was very wet, I wouldn't have given a toss really. But at that point we were just drenched anyway. Shell had a black denim jacket on, and her hands, because the dye had come out, her hands were black. And then later on we noticed that when we got back to the hotel, her neck and her arms and everything were black from the dye in the jacket. But it's always something. Yeah, so then the Cult come on. Oh my God, they were the best I've ever seen them. I've seen them quite a few times, supporting Guns N' Roses and on their own. And I don't know, back then I thought Ian Astbury, the singer, was a bit of a cock, really. No, that's not nice. his stage persona, he could be quite arrogant and a bit seemed a bit up himself. I mean, he was a performer, and I get it now, but at the time I remember thinking, oh, you're a bit of a dick. And I was much more for Billy Duffy, the guitarist, and he was just Ian, I don't know, age I suppose. He's been through some stuff, and he was just lovely. He just seemed really to be enjoying it and enjoying the crowd, and genuinely pleased that we were enjoying it. And it was fantastic. They did all all the songs that I wanted them to do. They didn't do Firewoman, which I was gutted about, but they and then we were in quite still to the side, but right to the front. We were gradually getting closer, and by the end we were on the front barrier, which was inevitable. It was quite funny because I'm not too good with crowds. I don't like it if I can't feel I've got an escape in any situation, not just crowds, you know. I have to be able to know I have an escape from this certain place at all times. So I had said to Show, you know, beforehand, I don't think I'm going to be wanting to get in any mosh pit or anything, but I was surprised, like, as soon as we got there in the mission and we stood on the edge, and then I was like, are we going in? And she was like, yeah. And I think because the age of them there as well, we were all sort of the same age, so there wasn't any I don't know, it just seemed a lot more respectful. Everybody wasn't dying to get to the front, and you could have space around you and stuff. And I mean, right at the very front, yes, it was quite jam-packed, but I don't know, it was just a brilliant vibe, and I just loved every second of it. And about 2 songs before the end, I remember just looking at Show and thinking, oh my god, my feet were absolutely killing me. And it was like I had switched it off, and then suddenly, as it was getting nearer the time to go in, I realised how bad my feet were aching. And yeah, so walking back through Cardiff back to the hotel, sort of walking along, and I said, when we used to go out clubbing, when you wear heels, I'm sure women know what I mean when I used to say I felt, by the end of the night, felt like I had sunburnt feet. It's like the soles of my feet had got sunburnt, and that's how I felt. And I said, I haven't said that in so many years, but my feet feel sunburnt. And yeah, she was pissing herself. She thought it was highly hilarious, but so anyway, got back, watched all the videos, and which I'm going to put them all in a separate video, and I might just put most of them are in portrait. There's a couple in landscape which I might put on the end of this video, as it's what it's about. But I've been talking about 14 minutes already. It goes so quick once I get rolling. Anyway, it was best time. Come home then, listening to the Cult all the way home, because they had really knocked it out of the park, and Shell was absolutely besotted with Ian again, and was wanting the same song over and over again, and we felt like we were 18 again. It was brilliant, singing at the top of our voices. It was a nice day coming home. Driving back, the drive was as good as everything else, because I don't know, it just took me back to the day when we used to be out and that, and so it just made me feel 20 again. And then next day I went downtown and bumped into Laura, who I went to school with. She's a girl that used to come out, her and Nancy, her sister Nancy, used to come out clubbing. They were there when the whole cap gun incident and everything, and she lives in New Zealand now, and I probably haven't seen her for the best part of 30 years. It's got to be, 25 definitely. And yeah, bumped into her in town, and we had a little chat and a little catch up, and it was lovely. And I was like, oh my god, it's really weird. And then Sarah messaged me to say that her and a couple of other friends, Bernadette and Roseanne, who I went to primary school with, we all grew up together, don't see each other very often. I mean, some of us live in the town, but you don't get together like when you were kids. They're getting together next Saturday, and I'm going to go meet up with them. And yeah, it's been a really strange week, and it's been lovely. And it just gives me a whole new zest for life. And, I know there's so many different factors. Summer, obviously, you want to get out and do more. Definitely the Vegas trip has relit something in me to realise that life ain't over yet, and coming out of COVID and coming out of probably 10 or 15 years of grief, because with going from when Dad, 2003, when Dad was first diagnosed with cancer, to then all through losing him, and then it was only a year or something till Tammy's diagnosis, and then going through that with her, and then the grief of that, that's 2003, so that's almost 20, well, it is 20 years. And yeah, I just feel like memories I'm having that I've obviously blocked from childhood, not blocked, but the memories that are coming back from my childhood. I know I sound like some crazy old woman who can't remember yesterday, but the memories of my childhood are so vivid, I can almost put myself there and smell and see the colours, tell you exactly what was there. It's quite strange, and it's quite lovely, but it's all the getting older, and I'm just realising that at 52 I am not old, and I can still go and do all these things and make silly videos like the teenagers. I'm coming to the end of it and I'm going to start being silly now, so I'm just going to say I've got the phone a different way and I don't know where I'm looking at now, but yeah, I'll put some videos on at the end, and then I'm going to upload the whole load of videos that I took and put them on should anybody want to watch them. Yo, catch you later.
They know about our life alone. From broken hearts, we create our own. For every day they try to track us down, I cry with anger, I have done no crime. 68 guns, our battle cry. 68 guns. 68 down. Let me back. What's going on inside your head? Let it go. Love is all you need.
Well, that's a wrap.